The slot machine didn't change. The lights didn't flicker, the screen didn't warn you. But something did shift, quietly. And from that moment on, the odds were no longer working the way you think they are. Most people believe a slot machine either pays or it doesn't, that it's either hot or cold, that luck is the only thing deciding what happens next. But casinos don't rely on luck. They rely on patterns, human patterns. And once you understand how those patterns work, you start to recognize the subtle signs that a slot machine is no longer entertaining you, it's extracting from you. The truth is, no casino needs to rig a machine. They don't need to flip a switch. They don't need to change the math. Because the moment your behavior changes, the machine doesn't have to. Every modern slot machine operates on a random number generator, a system that determines outcomes thousands of times per second. This means every spin is technically independent. What happened before does not affect what happens next. That part is true. But what most players misunderstand is that randomness doesn't protect you, it protects the casino. Because while the machine doesn't remember you, the casino does. From the moment you sit down, data begins to accumulate. Time played, bet size, speed of spins, wins, losses, pauses, whether you cash out or reinsert money, whether you chase losses or walk away after a win. None of this changes the RNG, but it changes how long you stay. And time is the only variable that truly matters. One of the earliest warning signs that a slot machine is about to drain your money isn't a losing streak, it's comfort. When you stop watching your credits closely, when your spins become automatic, when your finger hits the button before you've even processed the result of the last spin. That's not luck, that's habit forming. Slot machines are designed to create a rhythm, a loop of anticipation, reward, and near miss. Near misses are especially powerful. The brain processes them similarly to wins, even though you lost. Two matching symbols, a third just above the pay line, a bonus symbol that almost lands. Each one signals to your brain that you were close, even when the outcome was never close at all. Over time, this creates a false sense of progress, and that's when the real drain begins. Another sign appears when small wins become frequent, but your credit balance continues to fall. You may feel like you're doing okay because the machine keeps paying something. But if you look carefully, you'll notice that those wins are smaller than your bets, or just enough to keep you playing longer. This is called loss disguised as a win. Your machine celebrates, lights flash, sounds play, but your balance still drops. This illusion keeps players seated far longer than silence ever could. There's also the moment when you increase your bet, not because you plan to, but because it feels necessary. Maybe you were betting $1, then $2, then $5. Not because you wanted to risk more, but because the machine made the lower bet feel ineffective. That shift often happens after a short win or bonus round. The brain anchors to that higher reward and begins chasing it, even when the math doesn't support it. This is where many players unknowingly cross the line from entertainment into exposure. And the machine doesn't need to change a thing. The longer you stay, the closer your results drift toward the machine's long-term payout percentage, which is always set in the casino's favor. That's not theory, that's math. And the moment you start playing emotionally, chasing, adjusting, reacting, the machine has already won. But the most dangerous sign is subtle. It's when you believe the machine owes you. After 20 spins, after 40, after a bonus that didn't pay well. The brain begins creating a narrative that a win is building, that a payout must be coming, that stopping now would waste everything already spent. This belief has no basis in how slots work, but it keeps people playing longer than they ever planned to. And once that thought takes hold, the machine doesn't have to drain your money quickly. It can do it slowly, quietly, spin by spin. That belief that the machine owes you something is where most players lose control without realizing it. Because from that point forward, decisions are no longer being made logically. They're being made emotionally. Slot machines are designed to remove friction. No dealer, no waiting, no social pressure, just you and a button. And the faster the spins, the easier it is to lose track of value. A dollar no longer feels like a dollar. A $5 spin doesn't feel like $5. It feels like a moment. This is why many machines now default to faster spin speeds and autoplay options. The less time you have to reflect, the more likely you are to continue. Another warning sign appears when bonuses become frequent but underwhelming. You may notice you're triggering free spins more often, but the payouts are small. Enough to excite you, but not enough to change your balance meaningfully. This creates the illusion that the machine is active. In reality, it's doing exactly what it was designed to do, keeping you engaged while steadily maintaining the house edge. Some players interpret this as the machine warming up. It isn't. Bonus frequency does not equal payout quality. In fact, many modern machines are programmed with frequent low-value bonuses specifically to extend session length. And session length is everything. Casinos don't profit from individual spins, they profit from time. This is why you'll often notice that the longer someone plays, the more consistent the losses become. Early wins are remembered vividly, later losses blur together. Another sign appears when you stop setting limits. Maybe you told yourself you'd play for 30 minutes, or spend $50. But after a bonus or a small win, that limit quietly disappears. You tell yourself you'll stop after one more spin, then another, then another. This isn't a lack of discipline, it's how the environment is designed. No clocks, no windows, constant sensory stimulation. The machine doesn't need to convince you to stay forever, just a little longer each time. And the final warning sign is often misunderstood as confidence. You start believing you understand the machine, that you've noticed patterns, that certain times pay better, that certain machines feel different. But what's really happening is selective memory. Wins stand out, losses fade. The brain connects unrelated events into a story because randomness is uncomfortable. Casinos rely on this. They don't need you to believe you'll win every time. They only need you to believe that winning is possible and close. The truth is, once you've crossed into extended play, the math becomes unforgiving. No strategy can reverse it. No timing can beat it. No belief can change it. At that point, the machine isn't about to drain your money. It already is. And the only real decision left is how long you stay seated. What makes this system so effective is that nothing feels aggressive. There's no alarm, no warning message, no clear moment where you realize the balance has shifted. By the time most players notice they've lost more than planned, the session is already over, and that's by design. Casinos don't need players to lose everything. They need players to lose consistently. A player who slowly gives money back over time is far more valuable than one who wins once and leaves. This is why many experienced players don't judge a session by wins or losses. They judge it by duration. The longer you sit, the more predictable the outcome becomes. That's not cynicism. That's probability. The hidden truth is that the most dangerous slot machine isn't the one that never pays. It's the one that pays just enough to keep you believing, just enough to keep you seated, just enough to keep you spinning, just enough to delay the moment you walk away. Once you understand that, the machine loses much of its power, not because it changes, but because you do. Awareness doesn't guarantee wins, but it prevents illusions, and in a system built on illusion, clarity is the only real advantage. If this video helped you see slot machines differently, subscribe for more neutral behind-the-scenes breakdowns. Like the video if it gave you a new perspective, and share it with anyone who plays slots, because understanding how casinos really work is always more valuable than chasing another spin.